I've got pimples. Goose pimples. I do not know an artist, certainly a modern artist, with a better sense of musicality and harmony than Jacob Collier. So what better way to start this year's New Music Friday? I love that you can hear his fingers against the strings. Makes it really organic sounding.
Little blue, be my shelter, be my cradle, be my womb, be my boat, be my river, be the stillness of the moon.
I love how he started that. He is so musically complex that I think it's going to go all sorts of places, but he's started in a lovely, simple place that our ears can really hook onto, and this is what I love about him. He is so detailed, yet it is relatable. It's so calm and peaceful, this song, and it's so beautiful. Now you can see that there's lots of people surrounding him, and this is interesting. He's invited a group of friends and fans to come and sing with him, and he's really well known for making on-the-fly choirs in his live performances. It's amazing to see. And this song was originally sung with Brandi Carlile. If you don't know Brandi Carlile, I would really recommend checking her out. She is a genius musician in her own right.
If I could, I'd go with you to a place I never knew. In your eyes, so dark and open, there's a light that leads me back to you.
I've got pimples. Goose pimples.
You're so far away, I hear you say you'll never walk alone.
This is what I'm talking about. It goes to places that you just don't expect. And he manages to make it complex and unexpected, yet very safe and warm. And it just makes sense. Now I wanted to talk about this lovely warm voice of his. He does a couple of interesting things. He actually started out as a treble singer, singing in things like The Magic Flute, which is a Mozart opera, and Benjamin Britten's The Turn of the Screw. If you haven't heard Benjamin Britten, that's another person I would absolutely recommend you check out. It's so harmonically complex. I grew up singing a lot of that in choir, and so did Jacob, and this inspired his use of harmony.
Singing, don't be afraid of the dark in your heart. You're gonna find a way.
I like this Dodie.
To carry
She's a YouTuber as well. Very talented.
the world on your shoulders. You're gonna find your way.
Brought the choir in unison, an interesting thing to do. He's starting with less complexity and building it in, which is prudent because it allows us to settle in before the changes happen, especially in a song like this, which is so calming and beautiful. I thought there was something really interesting as well with the way it's produced. He doesn't have as much compression as often you hear on performances. Now this is a live performance as well. What is compression? Compression is when you bring the softer notes up to make them louder and the louder notes quieter to make them quieter. So everything's kind of in the same dynamic range, whereas you can hear this kind of ebbs and flows and dynamics. Again, it makes it feel more natural. You don't hear it that much in modern contemporary production.
To carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You're gonna find your way. Little blue, be my anchor, be my light, my compass star. Be
Makes
my
me cry.
darkness, be my danger, be the strings of my guitar.
He plays his voice.
Little blue, how I love you, something strong, something true. In your eyes, so deep
More
and
rage.
gentle, there's a light that leads me back to you. 'Cause you're not.
He goes places that you just don't expect. And it's beautiful that he's got quite a consistent melody over the top, but underneath it's like the ebb and flow of emotions going places that you don't expect, but they do it anyway. Often our music is formulaic, it's boxed into what we think is right and wrong, and with him, he both completely understands all the rules and breaks them and fits them together in a way that is beautiful. I don't know any other music like this. I remember when I first found out about Jacob Collier, I was doing some gigs with some of these really fancy jazz musicians in the UK, and one of them was like, Beth, you're gonna love this guy. He does these amazing one-man choral covers of things, and the harmonies are so beautiful. And I did, and I'm so glad to see him bring that into his own music. And his music is not just beautiful like this, some of it's fun and some of it's emotional. I mean, this is emotional. And it's all completely him. It also feels very, very authentic.
Something true. In your eyes, so dear and gentle, there's a light that leads me back to you. 'Cause you're not so far away. I hear you say
Oh,
you'll never walk alone.
oh, my brain, it's like I'm getting a massage.
Don't be afraid of the dark in your heart. You're gonna find your way to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You're gonna find your way. Don't be afraid of the light.
Nice.
It's alright. You're gonna find your way to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You're gonna find your way.
What I love about his music and his vocalizations is he's both using the language of classical music and jazz and pop and blues and things like that. So you've got these slides. Actually, that's probably in both, but you're combining these Benjamin Britten style opera harmonies with a beautiful soft breathy tone, which is often seen in pop or jazz, these riffs and runs that go into unusual places using unusual jazz and blues scales. All are combined in a way that just gels. I just can't comprehend how he can use so many different textures and colours and influences and how it combines so well. Yet in this circumstance, it really gives you the feeling of like a world culture. It's a musical language that is a combination of many different musical languages, and that is so, so beautiful to hear.
You're gonna find your way. singing. Don't be afraid of the dark.
I want to go back and listen to that again, but there's something that keeps on coming into my mind that I really feel like I have to talk about is his tone. And this is an interesting thing because it sounds like he's singing with a really low larynx. Now, if you want a low larynx, what I want you to do is touch your chin, put your finger down and you'll find your larynx. It's this little bump here in your neck now, man. That's your Adam's apple. If you go woo woo woo, you'll feel it go down and that gives you kind of this sort of tone. Now, Jacob Collier kind of has that tone when he speaks.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
If you put your finger back on your larynx and go, hey, and then you speak like this, you can feel it go up, and that has a more trebly sound, it has a more punchy sound. He really has that tone. Now with him, because it's a natural thing, I think that's just the shape of his vocal tract. I think he might have, and you can kind of see this in him, I have to say he has quite a long neck. He probably has a longer vocal tract, which naturally gives him a bit of a warmer tone. Your larynx might naturally just sit a little higher. You might have a shorter vocal tract and it gives you a really trebly sound, and that will be equally as beautiful. It's just different. This music's going to be around for a long time, I think.
Don't be afraid of the dark.
And you can hear his accent in there as well.
In your heart, I'm gonna find your way to carry the weight of
Little
the
pop
world
riff.
on your shoulders. You're gonna find your way, find your way, find your way.
Are you as goose pimply as me?
Don't be afraid of the light. It's alright. You're gonna find your way to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You're gonna find your way, find your way, find your way, find your way. Cool. Thank you all. Beautiful.
And to end that piece of music with, yeah, cool. That was easy. Before you go, I have just released my very own album, Fable. It's available on my website, bethflores.com, and I am releasing stuff slowly on my Patreon and here on YouTube and on Spotify. So I'd love if you could go and check it out. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Rar.